Hello everyone, welcome to Destination Michigan. From books to burgers, meaningful chalk art to mysterious shipwrecks, here's what's coming up. At schools and in the shop, Sleepy Dog Books ignites imaginations of the young and young at heart. In Cheboygan, she's pounding the pavement with a message of hope. Meet the artist whose 5,000-day sidewalk chalk project is sparking conversations on mental health and suicide prevention.
Then, a former schoolhouse undergoes some sweeping changes by trading in books for brooms.
Plus, we uncover Michigan's maritime past by exploring what's below the waves. Those stories next on Destination Michigan.
Support for Destination Michigan is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, maroon and gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com, on campus at the University Center, and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the John G. Kulhalvy Event Center.
Hi and welcome back for another edition of Destination Michigan. Today finds me in one of my favorite spaces, a bookstore. Well, we all have a story. For the owners of Sleepy Dog Books in Mount Pleasant, their story began as students attending Central Michigan University. Their next chapters saw them travel, start a family, and then brought them back here to share their journey with the community through their love of reading and books.
There's the story about the bookstore, and then there's a story how we ended up in Mount Pleasant. Jenny and I met here at school. We were undergrads here at Central Michigan. We were both in the teacher program, but she was in elementary ed, I was in secondary. We met at the Italian Oven, and since then we've been together, and we moved to Alaska to teach together.
And so we just took the plunge, and we actually took job sight unseen in a fly-in Alaskan village. And so we moved up there, and we were in the village for 2 years, and then we moved to the road system for 2 more years, and we had our daughter up there, and then we wanted to be closer to family, so we moved back to Michigan.
After filling their need to travel and explore, Jenny and Riley Justice are writing the next chapter after discovering the needs of their community.
The last census data identified Isabella County as a book desert. That means that the number of books in the homes are low and the access to books are low. And so we knew that there was the need in the community, and then we just needed to figure out if there was a want. And we just did that very informally. We talked to people, we had, our friends ask their friends, like, is this something that we think would succeed and that you would support in the community? And overwhelmingly, the answer was yes, that would be awesome. Please open this, please do this. And so we did.
After decades of bookstore closures and changing reading habits from books to digital versions, opening a bookstore didn't come without potential risks. The shop opened in 2022, during the COVID pandemic.
We saw that there was enough interest, we saw there was enough people that were readers, and we saw globally over COVID that people kind of came back to reading. So we saw a transition, and whether it's reading on a Kindle or reading on your device or reading a book, there's always those that are interested, and really making something available in the local community became a priority for us.
As owners of their own store, the connections with their customers speak volumes, and that's something that you just can't get at the big box stores.
It's a lot like being a bartender. You have people come in, they tell you about their passions, they tell you about their interests, their family strife, all of those different things, because you're helping them find the right book.
And the nice thing about being a community bookstore is if we see a shift in what the community is coming in and asking for, we can really easily make that shift and grow a section or get rid of a section. And so we are really reflective of the community and what they want.
Opening the store was just the beginning for the Justices. They've since established a nonprofit, and the impact of their mission is already making a difference.
So we have 4 programs that we really focus on. First and foremost is the book vending machines, because we see that there's a direct impact. As if you walk into one of the schools that has a vending machine currently, the whole conversation has really shifted. They talk about what books are in the machine, what they're going to do to earn a token. They're talking about what book is in the machine or what book is coming out. So we're really shifting the whole paradigm, not only of literacy and learning, but also about behavior. Our other programs range from like literacy nights, where we work with community partners to bring families in. We provide them resources, but we also bring literacy experts to train the parents how to work with their children as literacy learners. We do book giveaways. We have the book trailer. The idea is we can pull up to an event or a community gathering, and especially communities that don't have access to books or bookstores, we can give away books.
We also host, story times and author events or community events like the Ice Cream Social we do every summer. Final Fridays, which is music on the streets and the corners on summer nights. We really try to engage the community in different aspects, so we try to do different events to catch different populations, so hopefully we have something that everyone would be interested in and get involved.
Jenny and Riley are now writing the next chapter of their story, one that may inspire others and broaden horizons through the power of books and reading.
I've always wanted a bookstore, and I've kind of pushed the dream onto Jenny. But I've always loved bookstores. It's been a way for me to really experience cultures in different cities, because the bookstore, especially local bookstores, reflect the community that they're in.
I'm joined by Jenny Justice, one of the co-owners, as you just saw, and she brought along some special friends today. Jenny, who are these two, and how did they kind of influence what you do?
Yeah, so these are our dogs. This is Cooper and Rosie, and we named the store after them. So our kids have grown up, our kids have grown up reading with our dogs. So it's a really good literacy strategy, reading strategy to read to animals. So it helps boost the kids' confidence and make them comfortable with reading out loud and really working with books. So we kind of named the store after, the dogs, because they've been a big part in our life and our kids' reading journey.
And they are very sweet.
Yes.
Well, thank you for bringing them out here today. Up next, we have some exciting news. Our Destination Michigan team is really excited to introduce and bring on the newest member of our team, Jamie Mankiewicz. She's hitting the ground running and is introducing us to a woman who spent 5,000 consecutive days bringing messages of hope, and she's not stopping anytime soon.
I am so excited to be here and to be a part of this crew and to bring you this story. We caught up with Susan Melton to celebrate her incredible milestone in Cheboygan and learn why this project has become much more than art. It's a lifeline.
One slab of sidewalk and a dream of just getting to the next day. Keep going, just to not give up, just to never give up.
Sometimes it can feel that all the color drains from life. But this northern Michigan woman is making sure her temporary messages leave a lasting impact. For more than 5,000 consecutive days, Susan Melton has turned cold, gray concrete into vibrant canvases, one message of hope at a time.
Keep writing your story, keep believing in yourself. You matter, you're not alone. Those definitely come up a lot, because I think those are the most important messages for people to see, and for me too.
Susan picked up a piece of chalk on May 30th, 2011, not realizing she was about to start a movement. Since then, her unique creations of color have brought brightness to some dark days.
The original inspiration was depression. I mean, seriously, not in a good spot, trying to come up with a way to make myself feel better.
This kaleidoscope of creations has become a welcome part of daily life for members of the Cheboygan community.
That consistency, it's almost like getting up and having your cup of coffee. Some of them you just walk by and you just kind of giggle because they're really cute and quirky. She'll chalk little gnomes with flowers sticking out of their mouths and cute little sayings. But then sometimes, and it's almost like magic, if you're having a bad day or something has happened in your life that you just need that little boost, that's the day you run across one of her chalks that's like, oh my gosh, it hits home so deeply.
They're so special, and they just brighten up my day. Knowing that somebody does this in the back of your mind, somebody working to inspire people every day. She is a chalk fairy. She is.
From sweltering summer days to winter mornings when the temperature is well below freezing, you can find Susan with a piece of chalk in hand.
even when it rains, even when it snows, even when the wind's blowing, even when I'm sick, I just kept telling myself, you just have to get this done. That was my purpose, to go another day to get this done. Just go another day. And then pretty soon I started feeling better. And I just kept going. So when I hit the 3-month mark, I'm like, let's just see how far I can go. So I kept going and then hit a year, 5 years, 10 years, and dang, 5,000 sidewalks tomorrow. I can't. Sometimes I can't even believe it myself.
Susan's resiliency has had a ripple effect. Her work has become a beacon of encouragement, sometimes for people she's never met.
I have chalked as far north as Marquette and Munising, Alpena. I've chalked in Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Ohio, Las Vegas, and California. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But pretty much almost every city in northern Michigan that's along either US 31 or down I-75, my goal is to chalk in all 50 states.
On this 5,000th day, members of the community bundled up and came out to pick up their own chalk and to celebrate Susan.
Is that it? That's it!
I think she's just got a lot of love in her heart. I know she does.
She is an inspirational person. Her kindness knows no bounds. So when you look at something, being able to let people know that's how you feel today, that's pretty deep, and that shows a deep love for all of the people in the community and the entire community as a whole.
After 5,000 days, what does Susan hope people will take away from her journey?
You know, I still have bad days. Every day's not perfect, but this has made a huge difference in pulling myself out of those bad days a little bit faster than I was able to before. And knowing that somebody else might come across the sidewalk and it might make them think, make them smile, make their day feel a little bit better is huge to me. That's why I do it.
She plans to carry on her sidewalk chalk project to continue to shine a light on mental health and suicide prevention.
There's help. There's always, always help. I never take this off. It's my reminder. It's the crisis helpline. It's the 988 number that you can text or call anytime you need help, and that's the big thing. You're not alone, and it's okay. You're not alone, and it's okay.
Thank you, Jamie, and again, welcome. In Maple City, there's a building off Burdickville Road that used to be schoolhouse, but reading and writing have been replaced with burgers and brooms. Broomstack Kitchen and Taphouse pairs food with curling. Crystal Ghazali gives us a tour.
This was the first school in this part of the county, and it stayed in existence for, about 100 years, almost 100, just shy.
From an 1800s schoolhouse to a restaurant and curling club, the activities inside the building may have changed, but this is still a community gathering place.
We have numerous guests that come in and either actually went to school here or have their parents or grandparents that have went to school here. It's kind of fascinating. Carolyn, who is one of our servers, her mother went to school here. So the historic significance, the community significance of that is, you can't measure it. I've been in every type of restaurant, so I felt like, yes, it was definitely gonna work. It's such a charming space. Once I met the community in the first 2 months, there was no question in my mind, absolutely it's gonna work. People asked what they could do for us.
The secret sauce in a successful venture is often the talented team that's behind the scenes.
Maria, our head chef, is incredible. She does a litany of charity events on her own and in conjunction with us. She's also at times an adjunct professor at Northern Michigan College. So she's extraordinarily overqualified, but she saw the value in the community here. Rose Dugan, our other kitchen manager and pastry chef, very similar. For her, she's a little younger, so it was more her getting a stage. First time I worked with her, I was like, oh my goodness, you're an enormous talent. You're 20 years old. Do people know you're an enormous talent? She said no. And I said, well, come work with me and we'll try to make a stage for you. She now does her own Rose's Sweets and Treats. She is incredible. She's as good as anybody, and she's 22 years old. So it's kind of a cool thing that really we take pride in as well, in our employees' success.
So we know the restaurant part of this equation, but what about the curling? While attending his daughter's dance competition, restaurant professional Alfiero Solveri had a chance encounter with curling fanatic David Gerzenson, and soon burgers and beers were paired with stones and sweeping.
The short and skinny of it is, I took my first Learn to Curl class and just fell in love with it immediately, and joined a league and started curling, and again, almost immediately started traveling to different curling clubs throughout the state and even up into Canada. Curling brought me into the here and the now and kept me there for my duration of it, and wanted to make a career of it. And as I started looking for places to build a facility, came across this great property. And it was that simple. It was a restaurant and curling, and good food and good beer and curling, and what could go wrong?
David's devotion to curling was a driving force for his vision. But if you build it, will they come? It isn't heaven, but Alfiero and David think it's darn close.
It's got a 2-sheet curling facility, dedicated ice. I've never been a maintenance man, but take pride in putting the work in that I've done on it. And it's a regulation-sized curling facility. Our base is our members, right? And our members are old and young, big and small, athletic. They're arthritic, right? I mean, they're all of it, and they all just love the community. They love the sport of curling. They love being in Maple City and supporting this club. And then we have our Learn to Curls, which is sort of the meat and what keeps this place going. Our Learn to Curl sessions, it's a 2-hour class where you come in. You can come in as a group of 2 and join other people. You can come in with a big group of 16 people, and you get a crash course on the basics of curling, which takes about 20 minutes. You get some practice throws, which takes another 15-20 minutes, and then you spend an hour and 20 minutes playing a game against the people that you just met. You pick up the basics real quickly. It takes minutes to get the basics, but then a lifetime to sort of master it.
Before we leave Maple City, there's still one stone we've left unturned. What exactly does broomstack mean?
What broomstacking is after a curling match, traditionally both teams sit down and have a beverage together. Traditionally, the winning team is supposed to buy the beverage, while the losing team is supposed to do a little cleanup out there.
Curling's a very social sport. It's one thing I really love about it is these people, the curlers, fill this place with just great energy, conviviality, and fun. No one comes off the ice without a smile. So, in fact, I mean, it kind of feeds us to make our job a lot easier. I mean, they're already having a great time. You're doing something really fun, and you're also doing something really fun. You're eating and drinking, and you're curling. So that's, that's our motto. Yeah, eat, drink, curl.
In addition to a restaurant and curling, Sleeping Bear Bay Fitness is also on site where they do fitness classes and offer personal training. Well, it's estimated that there are over 6,000 shipwrecks in the Great Lakes. Nautical North Family Adventures in Cheboygan will take you over top of 3 of them on their glass bottom boat tour. Adam takes us aboard the Yankee Sunshine for a fun afternoon on Lake Huron.
Feeling the slight breeze on our face, the warm sun on our shoulders, the gentle sway of the boat as we cut through the waves, we pass the Cheboygan Pier front light and enter Lake Huron. With Captain Jennifer at the helm, it is bound to be an enjoyable afternoon on a great lake.
My Little People boat was my first boat, and when I was 3 years old. And when I tell you I had to take that thing camping, I've always been obsessed with everything water and boats, and as long as I can feel the water beneath me, I'm the happiest. So why not combine all that and make it my job? And by job, I mean I'm out there having fun every day.
Okay, we're gonna spin the bow of this boat around and we are headed out toward Lake Huron.
Prior to being a boat captain here and an owner-operator of Nautical North Family Adventures, I was a school teacher and then a homeschooling mom. And as part of being a homeschooling mom, I developed a business class for those 3 boys of mine, and we put together a 38-page business plan for what we're doing here. Pitched it to something called Invest Cheboygan, which is like Shark Tank, but for small towns, and got up there on stage, gave it our all, and lost. But 2 days later, I got a telephone call from a private investor in the audience who called me up and goes, "Hey kid, I think you got what it takes. How much do you need for the loan?" And the rest is history. Here we are, ending season 6, having an absolute riot out there on the water.
The operation may seem modest, but rest assured, a voyage that starts with stepping foot from solid ground to a boat with a glass bottom is safe.
100%. So this boat was built for my company in 2018, and typically the manufacturer builds those boats for the Caribbean. They worked in conjunction with Sector Sault Ste. Marie Coast Guard to design this boat specifically for my company for the Great Lakes, because we have colder water temperatures here. So if anything were to go wrong, even if all of the windows were to break, we'd still stay afloat. We'd just come back to shore pretty slowly.
Captain Jennifer's passion and knowledge of the area and its waterways is evident as she interacts with her passengers, sharing the rich maritime heritage of Cheboygan and Lake Huron.
Oftentimes when we're going over the ships, we'll tell our story and the history of it a little bit, and as soon as we creep up over the keelson of the first shipwreck, usually we hear an audible gasp, like it's so close to the glass, people love it. You can still see the ribbing of the boat. And just to know that those ships have been down there since 1891, unbelievably awesome.
Peering through the glass, a whole new world is revealed. Captain Jennifer skillfully maneuvers the boat back and forth, allowing passengers the opportunity to take in every detail the water has preserved of the sunken ships.
The first 2 wrecks that we go over are from 1891. And the first one that we go over is a cargo transportation vessel called the Genesee Chief. The second one we see is the Leviathan, and that's the guardian angel of the Great Lakes, which was a wrecking and salvage tug. We have full renditions of those, model ship version, thanks to one of my clients who loved the trip so much, he went home and made full model ships of those.
So the Leviathan was a wrecking and salvage vessel, and it was the best known wrecking and salvage vessel operating on the Great Lakes during the 1800s.
On our mid-afternoon tours, every day in the summertime in Duncan Bay, we go over the second shipwreck, the Leviathan, and we snorkel over it. I had a 70-year-old woman, fully dressed, get so excited about it. She's like, "Can I just jump in?" And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, let's do it. Because the depth out there is about 10 feet, so it's relatively safe as long as you're happy and comfortable with the water. We have pool noodles that we allow people. We have snorkel vests and all the equipment, the fins and the mask and the snorkels.
The water was a bit too cold for us to get in on our trip, but passengers did get a chance to pilot the ship as we made our way back in. The roughly 90-minute tour was engaging and informative, but most importantly, fun.
I share my passion, and anybody that I hire also shares their passion for this area with the people. So it's an intimate experience.
Ahoy! Ahoy!
Other boats don't have the opportunity to provide. So we can only seat 28 people, which is a blessing and a curse. But the blessing is we can memorize everyone's names before they leave the boat, and everybody leaves with a little something different. So we can tailor each voyage to who we have on board.
Okay, so this is a really cool story. There is a chance that you might recognize Captain Jennifer or remember when she made national news in 2021 when she uncovered a 95-year-old message in a bottle while cleaning the bottom of her boat. The note read, "Will the person who finds this bottle return this paper to George Morrow?" And using social media, she was able to track down the daughter of the man who penned the letter. So it's pretty fun to think about all the treasures that lie at the bottom of the Great Lakes. But that wraps up our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time for another edition of Destination Michigan.